In this video, I'll show you how to create a self-study plan so that you can ace your GMAT preparation without coaching. Let's get started right away. The length, intensity and structure of your GMAT preparation plan depends on your target score range. So, selecting your target score range at the very early stages of your preparation is extremely helpful. Picking a target score range is like choosing the difficulty level in a game. When you start a new game, you can set the difficulty level for your game anywhere from very easy to extremely hard. The same way, when you start your GMAT preparation, you can set the difficulty level of your target score range from very easy to extremely hard. Here's what the difficulty level looks like for the target score ranges on the GMAT. Very easy, a score less than 460. Easy, a score between 460 and 550. Normal, a score between 550 and 640. Hard, a score between 640 and 700. Very hard, a score between 700 730. And extremely hard, a score more than 730. But don't think too much about it right now. You can modify your target score range as your preparation progresses. The important thing is to pick a target score range to start with. In fact, you can pick a target score range right now. Here's the table again. Choose a target score range and post it in the comments so that I can give you some personalized tips related to your target score range. Once you have selected a target score range, you are ready to move to the next step of the preparation plan. Let's check it out. With a definite target in mind, you can now measure your current score range. Let me show you how to do that. Search for GMAT practice test on Google. Click on the link that says GMAT official starter kit plus practice exams 1 and 2 free. The link will take you to a page where you will find a button that says access GMAT official practice. Click that button. After clicking the button, you will reach a new page where you will be asked to enter your login details. But I am guessing that you don't have an account right now. So click on the link that says need an account. Clicking on the link will take you to a new page where you can create a new account. Read the information on the page, fill the required details, follow the instructions and create a new account. After you create an account for yourself, log in using your email ID and password. Thereafter, you can take the first of the 2 practice tests. Once you finish your practice test, check which of these ranges does your score for the first practice test lie. Is it less than 460? Is it 460 to 550? 550 to 640? 640 to 700? 700 to 730 or more than 730? Alright, you now have your current score range and you're good to go to the next stage. If you find the information I'm providing useful, please hit the like button so that I know you want more content like this. One of the questions I get very often from my students is, how long should I study for the GMAT? If you Google this, the result says 2 to 3 months. Now this is a very rough estimate and here's why. The number of days you need to prepare for your GMAT attempt depends on 2 things. First is the difference between your current score range and the target score range, and the second is your current score range itself. Based on these factors, the time required for your preparation may be less than, equal to or more than the generic time frame that Google gives you. My goal is to give you a much more accurate estimate. To calculate the number of days you need for your preparation, I have created a reference table. This table takes into account both factors that I just talked about. Let's take an example. Imagine your current score range is 550 to 640 and your target score range is 700 to 730. Then, from the reference table, the number of days you will need for your preparation is 105 days or around 3.5 months. At the same time, suppose your current score range is 640 to 700 and your target score range is the same, 700 to 730. Then from the reference table, the number of days you will need for your preparation is 60 days or around 2 months. Using this table, you should have a clear picture of how many days you'd require for your preparation. Once you know this, you are ready to move to the next step. Although you know the total length of the time you require to prepare for the GMAT, it is still one big block of time. In this step, I'll show you how to structure it into smaller and more manageable segments. First, I should tell you about the 3 phases you will go through during your preparation. These phases are the learning phase, the practice phase, and the testing phase. In the learning phase, you're working on acquiring knowledge about the section, question format, topic, or subtopics. In the practice phase, your focus is on building problem solving skills. This phase has 2 sub-phases, the untimed phase and the timed practice. Untimed practice sessions build accuracy, timed practice sessions build accuracy along with speed. In the testing phase, you focus on maintaining both accuracy and speed under GMAT-like test conditions. In this phase, you fine-tune your performance so that you can more reliably hit your target score on the test day. Now that you know the 3 phases, you can distribute your total time between these 3 phases in the following proportions. Give 30% of the total time to the learning phase, allocate 40% of the total time to the practice phase, and you can further break this into 20% for untimed practice and 20% for timed practice. Set aside another 20% for the testing phase. I know this doesn't add up to 100%. You can give the remaining 10% to whichever phase you want. This is a buffer segment that you can use at your discretion. Now let's look at an example. If I have 60 days to prepare for my GMAT, I'll allocate 30% to the learning phase, that's 18 days, 20% for untimed practice, that's 12 days, 20% for timed practice, that's another 12 days, and 20% for the testing phase, that's, you guessed it, 12 days. And I have another 10% remaining, which is 6 days. I'm going to put that on reserve as a buffer. So now my big block of 60 days looks like this. Learning 18 days, untimed practice 12 days, timed practice 12 days. After that we have the testing phase for 12 days and a buffer of 6 days. Now that you have organized the total duration into 3 sections, it's time to break these segments into time blocks that you can put on your calendar. I'll show you how to schedule your preparation in the next step. Before we move on, a quick request. If you find the information I'm sharing useful, please press the like button to let me know that you want more videos related to GMAT preparation, and I'll have them ready just for you. Let's look at what we have so far. We have created segments for the learning, practicing, and testing phase, and we also have a small buffer. Next, we are going to carve these segments into time blocks according to the sections on the GMAT. GMAT has 4 sections: quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, integrated reasoning, and analytical writing assessment. For each of these 4 sections, you have to allocate some time to all the 3 phases. To help you with this, I suggest following this distribution. Allocate 30% of the time in each phase to quantitative reasoning, give another 30% to verbal reasoning, then give 10% to integrated reasoning and another 10% to analytical writing assessment. Lastly, keep the remaining 10% as a buffer. Following this distribution, you will get something like this. Learning phase. This phase has a total of 18 days, and if you organize it according to the way that I just spoke about, the quantitative reasoning block gets 30%, which is rounded off to 6 days. Verbal reasoning, which is 30% again, so 6 days. Same way, analytical writing assessment at 10% is rounded off to 2 days, and integrated reasoning, that's 10% again, rounded off to 2 days. Finally, you have the last 10% remaining, which is 2 days, which gives us a buffer. So the learning segment which has 5 time blocks looks like this. Quantitative reasoning 6 days, verbal reasoning 6 days, integrated reasoning 2 days, analytical writing assessment 2 days, and a buffer of 2 days. So I have filled the rest of the table for you, and you can look it up to see how I have broken it down into these different phases. So here's the final table, and this is what it looks like with all the values filled in. For each of these 60 days, if you spend 2 hours per day, then you have a total of 120 hours of preparation distributed across 2 months. And what you can do is you can block these 2 hours in your calendar. The next step is showing up for these time blocks and to do what you are required to do during that time block. Now you might be wondering, what exactly should I do? For that, I've created a masterclass on YouTube. In this masterclass, I share the 10 things that I did to improve my score from 650 to 750. And here's the link to that masterclass. I'll see you in that video.